The film starts in a 10-year-old boy's room. We meet Max Newman playing a video game where he's designing an avatar. He gives the avatar big breasts and then his father walks in. Max's dad tells him that he's going to the airport. He tells Max that he shouldn't use his drone for work. Little Max isn't concerned about the drone. He is more embarrassed that his father walked in. What makes things even more awkward is his father stays to talk about it. Max's father encourages him that this is nothing to be ashamed of. Puberty is just a part of life and growing up. Then Max's dad leaves and announces to the whole house that Max was masturbating. Then we see little Max and his friends cycling to school. They call themselves Beanbag Boys. They're friends from elementary school and are all starting middle school together. Thor, the leader of the group, tells them that middle school is a treacherous place, and Max says that they need to stick together. On their way to school, they spot a neighborhood teenager and her college boyfriend. The Beanbag Boys stare at them as they kiss until they're chased off by her boyfriend, Benji. The boys ride off on their bikes and hang out in their fort where they play Yu-Gi-Oh! Lucas takes out the group's most valuable card and they are angry at him. He tells them that the card is worth $600. The boys are impressed. They think they're millionaires because they bought the card together. The next day, Max suggests they go to the skate park. Lucas and Thor don't want to do it, but Max has a crush on Brixley, so his friends agree to go with him. Brixley arrives at the skate park and Thor asks Max if he's going to give her the necklace he made her. Max says it isn't ready. Meanwhile, Thor and Lucas know he won't do it because he's too scared. Lucas tells Thor he doesn't even talk to girls. Thor tells him he isn't interested in that because he's too worried about Rock of Ages auditions. Taylor is Brixley's friend and she calls Max. Taylor asks Max if it's true that he made Brixley a necklace in art class. Taylor tells Max that she will ask Brixley if she has a crush on him. Lucas goes home early that day. Max and Thor are approached by the cool kids that day, the Scooter Boys, who ask if they want to see something cool. Atticus, the leader of the Scooter Boys, shows them that he has a beer. He asks them if they want to drink it with him. Max and Thor are not ready to do that. Max has a sip, but Thor is too scared and they all make fun of him, calling him Sippy Cup. Meanwhile, Lucas goes home and his parents tell him that they're getting a divorce. He is heartbroken. Thor goes and signs up for Rock of Ages when Soren and Atticus of the Scooter Boys see him. Atticus makes fun of him. Thor decides to cross his name off of the list because of this. At lunch, Lucas doesn't tell Max and Thor about his parents' divorce. Soren calls Max to the cool kids' table. He invites Max to a party. It's going to be a kissing party. Max asks if he can come with Thor and Lucas. Soren tells him that's fine. Now the boys have to learn how to kiss. They use Thor's parents' sex doll, but it doesn't teach them anything, so they decide to go spy on Max's neighbor. She has a boyfriend, and they've seen her kiss him countless times. We meet Max's neighbor, Hannah, and her best friend, Lily. They're planning to do Molly and go to watch a concert. Hannah's boyfriend, Benji, arrives to give the two of them Molly. He and Hannah have a big fight, and he storms off. The Beanbag Boys can't see through her fence, so they decide to use Max's father's drone. Max doesn't want to do it, because his father instructed him not to do so. But Thor convinces him to use it. Max flies the drone over to her house. Thor and Max fight over the drone and it falls to the ground. The girls catch it and they keep it, so the boys go over in hopes of getting it back. But they're ambushed by the two girls and the Beanbag Boys tell them the truth, that they wanted to learn how to kiss. The girls refuse to give them the drone, to teach them a lesson about spying. Thor steals Hannah's handbag in hopes of negotiating an exchange of some sort for the drone. In the bag is the Molly the girls were planning on taking before the concert. They get a call from the girls who want the handbag. The girls need it back urgently so they're not late for the concert. Max sets up an exchange at a local park, the handbag for the drone. The girls arrive with the drone, wanting the exchange, but the boys don't want to give the Molly back to them, out of fear that the drugs will kill the girls and harm the community. So they decide to remote access the drone and fly it off. But the drone gets hit by a bus. The boys run off in hopes of being safe at school. When they arrive at the school, they see the girls already there. Out of fear of being hurt by the girls, Lucas calls SCAB, the anti-bullying brigade for the school. They surround the beanbag boys and make a scene that embarrasses them in front of the whole school. The boys realize that they need to find a way to get a new drone before Max's father gets home. Thor also realizes that he needs to get a beer and drink it at the party to gain the little respect that he had. The boys decide they need to ditch school, sell their rare card, and buy the drone. They get a buyer for the card and they decide that they will sell the card to him at Thor's house. The buyer is about to purchase it and Lucas changes his mind after remembering how important the card is to the beanbag boys. Max and Thor are not happy with Lucas. The buyer goes into the kitchen and finds the sex doll. He decides he wants to buy that instead. They negotiate to sell it to him for $5.50. That is more than enough to get a new drone. They head to the mall with money and their favorite card is still in their possession, happy that all their troubles are over. They stop for a moment to get something to drink. Max asks Thor if he's sure about not wanting to sing anymore, and Thor reluctantly says yes. They see Hannah and Lily. They're chased by the two of them who want the handbag. The chase is on. The boys ride off away from the girls and Lucas rides straight into a truck, and his arm is broken. The boys pop Lucas's arm back into place. Lucas tells his friends that his parents are getting a divorce. They promise to be there for him through the divorce. They stop at a grocery store and a cop comes in. They give the molly to the cop and run away. They find themselves close to the mall, but there is a freeway that separates them from the mall. The boys decide that they will cross the freeway. But they're trapped in the fast-moving traffic. The boys run across the freeway and make it. The boys finally make it to the mall in hopes of getting the drone, but the last one has just been bought. The girls bought it and want to make the exchange, but they don't have the molly. They gave the drugs to the police. Max convinces the girls that he can get them drugs. They go to a frat house and ask for Benji so that they can buy the molly. Benji doesn't want to sell the drugs to the kids. Lucas tells Benji that Hannah sent them. Benji vehemently refuses to sell them the drugs now, so Max points a paintball gun at him and shoots up the entire frat house. They leave with the molly and successfully get the drone. The girls drive off to the party. But Lucas and Thor are not happy about the day. They're unhappy that they had to skip school, lie, and shoot a bunch of people at a frat house. They all decide they will go home and not go to the party. Max gets a call from his dad, saying he will be home early. They need to find a way to get the drone back home before he can notice that it's missing. Lucas tells Max he will have to remotely fly the drone back home. He does so, but ends up destroying the entire house. He gets a call from his dad, who is furious. Max is grounded. Max and Thor fight with each other after exchanging hurtful words. The beanbag boys walk home separately. Thor's mother comes into his room and tells Thor that Max skipped school. Max didn't tell on his friends. Lucas tells his parents the truth. They don't believe him. They think he is scared that he is losing his friends. That night, Lucas comes to Max's window and tells him he needs to sneak out and go to the party for Brixley. Max agrees, only if Thor isn't coming. Lucas lies and says Thor isn't going to be there, but he is. Thor and Max argue, but still go to Soren's party. They all go downstairs to the basement for the party. Taylor approaches Max and forces him to speak to Brixley. They hit it off, and Max gives her a necklace. Meanwhile, Thor approaches Atticus with the beer, in hopes of getting rid of his nickname, Sippy Cup. Thor wants to break the record for sips. He does it and gains respect from the bullies. After that, Soren announces that the kissing party is going to start. Lucas decides that he is not ready, so he leaves the party to go upstairs and play VR. Brixley spins the bottle, and it lands on Thor. He might have to kiss her, but Thor doesn't for Max. They make fun of Thor and want to kick him out. Max stands up for him and they make up. Thor leaves the party and tells Max that he needs to kiss Brixley. He and Brixley kiss and hold hands. Hannah and Lily come into the house later that night, and the boys find out that Lily is Soren's sister. Hannah and Lily convince Thor to sing for them. He realizes That's what he needs to do. Lucas realizes he is supposed to be a member of SCAB, the anti-bullying brigade for the school. Max dates Brixley, and she breaks up with him. He starts dating Taylor, who breaks up with him as well. Max gets a new girlfriend, and they watch Rock of Ages, where Thor kills it. They all celebrate at Thor's house, where the three beanbag boys unite, and Max introduces Thor to his girlfriend, Scout. Lucas tells the beanbag boys about his new friends from SCAB. The boys realize they have all grown apart, but they make a promise to each other to always be there for the big moments. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.